Hey everyone. To briefly summarize The Glass Castle, it's a memoir that vividly describes the life experiences of Jeanette Walls, who grew up in a highly dysfunctional family. When sober, her father Rex Walls was a brilliant man who taught his children complex subject matters like math, reading, physics, geology, astronomy, and survival skills. Unfortunately, he suffered alcohol use disorder and his family experienced major hardships because of it. Their mother, Rosemary Walls, was a free-spirited artist who wanted to live life painting and avoiding responsibilities, looking for any joy she could find. She would often go through periods of depression, which would cripple her from even getting out of bed. This resulted in neither of them having a job for years at a time. They relied on Rex, working sporadic odd jobs to attain any money, which he inevitably spent gambling or indulging in a bottle of liquor. The Walls children, Jeanette, Lori, Brian, and Maureen, not pictured here because she wasn't born yet, took care of themselves throughout their life. At the age of 3, Jeanette caught fire while cooking a hot dog over a stovetop. After a skin graft and 6 weeks in the hospital, Rex smuggled her out of the hospital to avoid paying the hospital bill. The Walls family found themselves constantly moving across the country, fleeing debt collectors and law enforcement, abandoning all belongings and cars that broke down along the way. Rex called it doing the skedaddle. Through their nomadic lifestyle, the family faced many adversities. Rex often promised stability that never came. Rex and Rose declined any handouts and once claimed that welfare would cause irreparable psychological damage. Unfortunately, this led to them suffering severe poverty, often finding themselves starving and freezing. I could go on and on about all the traumatic events that were very vividly described through the eyes of the traumatized child. It's very sad, but incredibly well written. Through all of the trauma these kids experienced, resilience shines through. As the kids grew up, they found that they needed to leave their household to make a better life for themselves. They found themselves in New York and worked hard to gain the life they wanted. Rex and Mary soon followed them to New York and became squatters after getting kicked out of multiple different apartments for not paying rent. The struggle between compassion and healthy boundaries with their parents intensified. Jeanette went on to write this memoir and became a New York Times bestseller because of it. Overall, it's a great book. I was really glad to read it, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for another book to read. Now we're going to go to Joe, who's going to talk about some of the adversities that Jeanette experienced.